Hi friends, this is Jamie. I want to welcome you to my channel today. Hope everyone is doing well, staying safe. Today we're going to be finishing off our image here in Nice Little Town Valentine's Day by Tatiana Bogema Stolova. There's not very much to do on this page. Now I am doing a voiceover because the original recording actually was up to 58 minutes. And I decided I would do 2 times speed just so that this video would shorten itself down to under a half an hour. What I have done here is I've used a purple shade for our little caterpillar up here in the corner. And I'm going to shade with our violet polychromos pencil just to give it a little more definition. So that is what I'm doing right here. I wanted to pull purple in this upper corner because we have purple in the bottom left. So I want to complement it by putting purple in the upper right. And I did some little bit of shading there. Now I'm going to put some yellow shading. So basically create yellow highlights into the caterpillar on the opposite side. You can do this if you're trying to create a glow effect or create highlights using a different color. And yellow looks good with purple, so I went for it. And then the wings are going to be yellow as well, which was the lemon chiffon that we had used earlier. Basically, we're using colors that we've already used in this palette. We have a whole basket full of colors that we've already pulled. We might as well just finish it off with the colors we've used. That orange color we also have already used. I zoomed up the camera so you guys could see the caterpillar better to what I did, so you could see the glow and the shadow. Now I could add an additional darker purple shade if I really wanted to go into more depth, but I decided not to. I am adding some glitter gel pen. It's just yellow dollar store Jot glitter gel pen to the caterpillar just to make him a little extra magical, which is always fun. And his eyes got a little bit of bleed out from the purple marker, so I'll be using a Jelly Roll 08 to put some white back into his eyes. The Uniball Signo is too wide of a tip to do this fine area, so I used that one. They do have a 06 as well, but I just had the 08 handy. And I added a little extra to his white into his body as well. And I think he looks cute. We're going to move on to our girl here on the left. And her little awning. The awning here, I was thinking about doing purple, but then I changed my mind and decided we could do pink instead, like the pink heart, like the corally pink heart that's right next to the awning, just for a little bit of a different color. And so I'm just shading the whole, or I'm coloring the whole thing. Now I could break it up and do different colors, but I have decided to simplify it and just do one whole color. And I'm going to do some shading in here with my pink pencil as well. This brown that I'm using is the the Faber-Castell grip marker that we've been using. The pink pencil is the Polychromos pink that we've been using as well. So I'm just creating some shadows here. Now the trick with shadows on like wooden planks is not to go around the entire thing. Just pick a half, basically. Same goes with like fruit and food and stuff. Don't shade over the entire like outline. Only like what you're doing is you kind of create a C, like the letter C around it. So it gives kind of a shadow. And then with this brown, I'm just going in and adding just a little more depth to the lines. And if you want to put in a highlight, basically you're going to put your highlight in the opposite side of the C, if that makes sense. Right here, I'm just adding some white gel pen, and you can see where I've added some highlight right there. I put it to the opposite side of the shading. And now we're going to go into the mouse's little house here. I am doing a red curtain like I talked about in the other video, just to bring some of that red shade into this upper left quadrant of our page. This is the Arteza Tomato Red color, and I'm going to shade it with my Crimson Red Prismacolor Pro marker that has a brush end, fine end. I love these markers, by the way, the Prismacolor ones. And then the polka dots, we'll do in just a second, but I'm going to do pink ruffles here because we have a lot of pink going on this page. We might as well do pink. And this is the Arteza. I think it's one of the pinks we've already used. I don't remember which one I pulled here, but it's one of the shades of pinks we have going on this page. I'm using the Jelly Roll Moonlight in yellow to do the dots for our curtain. I'm just grabbing that out right now. This is the 1-0 size. The nice thing about the Jelly Roll is it goes right over marker, so it looks really cute. And then inside, behind her, I'm going to use the blue, just like we did the blue on the bottom. We're going to do it up here as well. Now, we're going to shade with some additional indigo blue pencil, but we're going to first do the base with the Arteza blue marker that we've been using, keeping to the pencil, or keeping to the colors we already have. Now, you don't have to worry about getting really tight into those little spots because that's what the pencil is for. There's my indigo pencil of the Polychromos. Getting into those little tiny spots that the marker could not go, because if we tried to put our marker there, it would bleed past where we would want it to bleed, and then our ruffles wouldn't be pink anymore. They would be like a purple color. So you can always get into the crevices with your pencil. And my strokes may not be super smooth because I can't see that close to the paper. You guys are getting a better visual than I am. The camera's closer than my actual eye. So if you see any mistakes or flaws, we'll just pretend I meant to do that. I am using the same gray we used on the boy mouse, which is the green gray from the Arteza Everblend set, which I actually think is a good gray for this because we have so many green hues in our picture. So using a green gray instead of a warm gray or a cool gray, I think actually ties into this picture a lot more. But I also think this is a good mouse gray color too. Now the inner ear, we're going to use the same one we used for the boy, and this is the Polygrip marker from Faber-Castell, and it was like a peach color. And then I'm taking that same color we used for the awning, the pinkish color, and I did some shadowing on top of that. Now I'm trying to go in and kind of make it work with a pencil, but it was kind of wet, so I had to back off because the paper was starting to not do its job, and it was, yeah. So we did the cheeks though, and I'm just doing a little bit of pencil work around the cheeks with the lighter gray, just so it's not a harsh line of pink. Then I am doing the shading for our mouse. And I have a combination of different warm grays of the polychromos. I think I have warm gray 4, warm gray 2, and the first warm gray, if I remember correctly. But they're the exact same pencils we used on the boy mouse. So if you have pencils pulled for him, that is the colors we're using. And then I decided we would do purple on her bow. So I'll be doing the purple bow here in just a minute. Just getting all my shading in. Sorry for my hand being in the way. The way I grip my pencil kind of makes my hand go in the center of the camera. I do apologize, but I try to lift up as often as I can so you guys can see what I did or am doing. Here's that purple bow with the Ohuhu marker. And we'll go back in and shade in just a minute. And I decided I would make the top of her little dress or shirt thing yellow, so she kind of matches the boy, because the boy has a yellow shirt as well. And then we're gonna go in with our pencils and start shading. Here's the Polychromos Violet color, and like you really can't see what I'm doing, but I'm shading on the bow right now. And if you are a beginner and learning how to shade, I actually recommend coloring bows. It's a great way to learn where to shade and how to create texture in clothing and fabric. And I recommend doing bows as one of your first things to shade, because it's really easy to tell where the highlight should be in a bow. I am putting in some of that darker cool gray as a shadow on that bow and outfit. Here I'm using this orange yellow color for on top of the yellow, and then I'll take the yellow as well, the cadmium yellow, and do some additional shading in there. So the cadmium yellow is like the medium color, and then the orange yellow was my dark color, and I didn't add a light because I already put the marker down, so we're fine. I was trying to decide if I wanted to color the pearls in her earring, but I decided that we'll just keep it white, and that will be fine. I'm trying to go back in on that ear now that it's had a chance to dry. And adding a little bit of white gel pen to the bow and some of the dress, just a little. Give it a little bit of a highlight. I'm zooming out here so you guys can see here. I want to try to do the bottom part for you. I'm trying to adjust my camera the best I can. Now I'm having a hard time zooming up super close like I did with the girl in the caterpillar, but this is pretty much the best angle I can get it at, so this is what's gonna have to work. Now I've started coloring the grapes, and I chose to do purple grapes because we have a lot of purple going on in this page. And I'm going to do shading as well on the grapes, and the shading we're going to have the violet polychromos like we've been using, and then I'll use the dark gray color as well, the dark warm gray for the darker shade.
You got the park.
And the lighter shade that we're going to...
the park.
Hold on, bud. And then we're also going to add some pink into the grapes as well, because we don't want to add yellow to the grapes. We want to add more of a pinky color. Because if you think about grape juice or wine or anything like that, has more of a pink, reddish tint to it. Not so much a yellow tint unless you're going for like a white grape. And we're using a purple grape, so I'm going to highlight this with a pink. And then I do additional highlights with a white gel pen at the very end, but right now I'm just doing the violet and the the warm gray shading. Now we already colored the stems of the grapes earlier, a couple videos back, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. And I'm coloring the leaves with the permanent Staedtler marker that we used on the little leaves up in the garland. So that's how those kind of turned out. And then I'm trying to color the little leaves on the strawberries as well. Now I did change the color marker. It says it was a lighter green of Staedtler, but it ended up looking like it was the same color green after I put it down. So I'm trying to do some additional shading with some pencil, just so you can see the difference in leaves here. Adding some shading. A great way to shade anything is with your grays. If you have cool grays and warm grays on anything, marker, pencil, whatever, you can use those for your advantage to shade any color. Anything you can shade with a gray. It calms tones down. It can add tone depth. Grays are a great tool to have in your arsenal. Now you can do this with blues and purples and all sorts of other colors. But yeah. Going into shading with color, like even shading with a opposite color or complementary color, is going into more advanced coloring techniques. So I'm not going to stress you guys out with those kind of things. Right now we're just working on just using just the basic shading. I did the strawberries and the cherries here with the tomato red, just like we used on the curtain and in our heart beads. And I did the shadowing with the crimson red. I added a little bit of highlight with my yellow pencil because it's kind of opaque. And then I'm adding a little bit of white Signo gel pen to the fruit. Now I can't decide what those last fruits are going to be. At first I thought they were peaches, but they wouldn't be that small compared to a cherry. And so I came to the executive decision I was just going to color them green, like the shade of a green pear, just to go with the green shades in our garland. And now that I think about it, it could have been a nectarine, but even those aren't that small. So, yeah, we'll just stick with the green and roll with it. Now, I didn't have my darker greens to shade in my basket, so I'm trying to attempt to do it with a green marker that we used on the leaves. And as you can see, there's a really harsh line because it's so different in tone that I am shading it. I'm trying to blend it in using other alcohol markers. If you go over an area enough, it will blend in with your alcohol marker. Now you can't do that with water-based markers. It will tear up your paper. And then we have these little outfits, just doing the little clothespins here. I'm starting off with a gray, and then I pull a brown to finish off the little clothespins. Now, I was trying to decide, is this supposed to be her bra hanging here? Or is this supposed to be like the top of a swimsuit? Because she's pretty brave if she's hanging her bra out for everyone to see. Or maybe it's a swimsuit top. So we're going to make it pink, I think. Yeah, we do pink and purple just for fun because we've got all those colors going on here. There's our pink, and I am actually coloring the individual stripes this time. And then I'll do some shading on it as well, because we're going to say our mouse is pretty adventurous and she wants a pink and purple bra. Or maybe swimsuit top, if you want to call it that. Adding some highlights to it because it's in the sunshine anyway. And then we're going to color our little dress here on the side that she has hanging.
Mama.
What, honey?
Can I have your phone?
I'm using it right now.
Okay.
I did some shading on that bottom ruffle. And now I'm taking one of the colors we used on the top. I think it's the same color we used for the wrapping. And doing, it's kind of like a salmon pink color. And shading it with that orangey yellow color. And I made the buttons yellow with the moonlight jelly roll. And I'm going to do the bottom of the dress this purple color. Bring in the purple down here as well. And then we're going to shade it with the violet pencil. And then I will add highlights to the skirt with the cadmium yellow pencil. After I'm done with the violet here. Just kind of telling you what I'm doing before I do it. Since this is at 2 times speed. I hope you guys have been enjoying this color along. Sorry it has taken me so long to finish.
I need to do it again.
Right now I am just adding a little bit of yellow to my mushrooms, and I'm going to add some yellow here and there to some of the beads where I think that they need a little bit of a glow. And then I add some white gel pen as well. Sorry for the noise, it's my daughter. Honey, try to be quiet, okay? I'm almost done. I decided to make the bottom of her dress, like the ruffle, white, so it matches the pearls. Adding some white highlights to that bottom canopy. And just here and there on the rope. This is just like finishing touches. Just going through everything, deciding if I need to add highlight or low light. See, my basket is full. I was just showing you guys. I have a full pencil basket full of markers and pencils and all sorts of goodies that we need to put away after this. I'm getting out my ruler because we are going to do the frame. I think I zoom out my camera so you guys can see better while I do the frame. A lot of Tatiana Bogema's pages do not have frames, so you can add your own frames in. I mean, this can be a pro, this can be a con. It depends if you like things already framed in, or if you like to be creative and do your own frame. Since we actually did not use any black really on this page, I do not think a black frame is suitable for this. I think a brown frame would be more suitable. So I'm actually pulling a very dark brown alcohol marker. And yes, I'm using a ruler to make a straight line, but I'm not measuring like how far this line is from the edge of the paper or anything like that. I'm just using the ruler to make it straight. That's all I'm doing. And if I think it needs to be thicker, I make it a little thicker. If I think it needs to be more brought into the page, I move it a little closer and bring it in a little bit more. And I'm moving my page so that I can do it on the top as well. See how I have made it a little thicker. Having the clear ruler helps so I can see how far I'm going into the page and how far I am not. When you have a ruler, you can't see through. It's hard to know what you're doing. Right here is a little trickier because you're dealing with the inseam of the book. But I did the best I could. And then framing out the bottom. Remember, if you do this, clean your ruler with an alcohol wipe or baby wipe after, to remove all that alcohol marker residue, because it will make a difference when you go to do it again. Now, the last thing you need to do to every page that you color is make sure you sign your colorings, especially if you post your colorings to social media. You don't want someone to take credit for your hard-earned colorings, and so I'm just signing my name right there. Now you could put C/B, meaning colored by, and your name, but make sure to sign your work because you did spend a lot of time and effort coloring these pages and you should be proud of what you've colored. I want to say thank you to everyone for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this color along, and if you guys have any ideas for the next color along, let me know, or if you would like me to continue doing color alongs, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks, friends, and I will post this on Instagram. See you later.